Good evening and welcome to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm meteorologist Ron Childers. Stand by one moment. My name was being called. Lydian Coombs joins me right now. I've heard my name a lot.
It was your wife.
So come on over here, Joyce Peterson. What do you got? How are you?
Hi. I don't have anything. I was just going to tell you something private before this very public broadcast, so I'll be stepping out. Stay safe, everybody.
As long as I'm not in trouble, we're good. By the way, that's my wife. Hey, let's talk about what's going on. Lydian, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Ron?
It's been a busy day.
It
And the
has been a
snow's
busy
not
day.
even here yet.
I know.
Yeah, but it's coming, and
Yep.
it is not too far away, even as we speak. Let's
excited.
let's take a look at things, shall we? By the way, we are live tonight on all of our digital platforms. We're on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. We're also on YouTube. We are on the Action News 5 news app and the Action News 5 weather app. And you can also find us on Facebook. And by the way, if you don't have the Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV apps, and you have one of those streaming services, take a minute, download the Action News 5 app. That is a great thing to have on your phone. So
Reported in East Memphis.
we're getting flurries, yep, and we're getting closer. Now look, if you've got a question, we're gonna go over, I think I'm gonna be able to answer everybody's questions tonight, but if you have a more specific question, enter it in the comments on Facebook, all right? So on Facebook, we can get questions. Lydian is gonna go through those and we'll answer the ones that are most prevalent. Now, the how much is it gonna snow at my house question, I'm gonna give everybody a blanket answer right now. There's gonna be about 4 to 7 inches of snow. Really, I think there's gonna be about 5 to 7 inches of snow, but also there may be even some higher amounts too, and we'll talk more about that. But the entire Action News 5 coverage area, no matter where you are, from Dyersburg down to Oxford, from Wynne, Arkansas to Haywood County and east into Corinth, you are going to get snow, all right? So let's get right to it. Lydian, let's show them the Action News 5 camera. This is our Best Care Home Services camera in Midtown. I do not see flurries, and I just stepped out a moment ago. There was nothing coming down at the time, but I got your first alert because...
Yep, and if you have photos of flurries, feel free to send them to us on our website. You can also do it through any of our apps. Because I'm checking right now and I'm not seeing any submissions just yet, but we expect a ton of those beginning soon. So if you have pictures, send them to us.
We want to see them. You can email them at desk@wmctv.com, or as Lydian mentioned, you can go on our apps, on the First Alert Weather app. If you scroll down to the bottom, there's a little section that says Submit Photos. So we want to see what you got. And when the kids are out playing tomorrow, send those too. We plan to show those all day long. And the good news, we're looking at snow for the most part. There may be a little brief transition in a couple of areas. I'll touch on that more in just a moment. But right now, Lydian, let's show the winter storm warning that is now in effect until midnight. This is until midnight tomorrow night. It is for the entire area, including Memphis and Shelby County. We're all going to get snow. And here's your first alert to it. It is moving in tonight. Snow will be heavy at times, especially, I believe, after midnight and towards the early morning hours and just before sunrise Friday. Now, this is going to impact travel, all right? No matter where you are in the Mid-South, travel is going to be a little difficult tomorrow as a result of the accumulating snow. And I know crews are doing a lot to treat the roads now. We'll talk more about that. But look, we're most likely going to see 5 to 7 inches of snow over a good part of the area. And that includes Memphis and Shelby County. Now, there's going to be at least 2 to 4 inches. That's the low end, especially towards our northern counties. Dyersburg, I think you're on track to pick up about 2 inches of snow at the very least. But the closer you get to Memphis, the higher those snowfall amounts. And look, when it's all said and done, Lydian, I think there are going to be some communities that have anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snow. So yeah, I know that sounds like a lot, but look, here's the thing. The simple fact is, once we get above 4 inches of snow, the rest is just gravy, so to speak, because 4 inches of snow really impacts travel all across the area. It just makes it difficult. Once you start adding on to that, it's how long is travel going to be impacted, and I think this could extend into the weekend as a result of the heavier snowfalls that are coming. So with that said, let's take a look now at Friday being a first alert weather day. All right, I want you, if you don't have to travel tomorrow, just stay home. Just ride this out at home. Let the kids play in the snow, stay warm. Check on your elderly friends, neighbors, relatives. Do that tonight if you can. Make sure they too are warm, they've got food, and they're in a good place and ready for this snow that is coming in. First alert Doppler radar right now already showing some light snow that is down around, we're seeing it around Lee and Phillips counties in eastern Arkansas, a little bit in southern Tunica County, Coahoma, Quitman, Panola, and even a little dusting there in Oxford. Now, some of that may not be reaching the surface yet. We may have some sublimation that's going on. Basically, that moisture is coming in, but there's still a lot of dry air that's in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. So it's going to take a minute to saturate that, but it is quickly being done as a low pressure system is driving all that moisture north. Check this out, though. There are winter storm watches, advisories, warnings that extend all the way from the Ohio Valley, even along the mid-Atlantic states, into the Carolinas, down into Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and even back into Texas tonight. But here's the reason. We've got a low pressure center. It's going to really just kind of move northeast. And as it does, that low is going to track in that direction. That's going to bring that moisture into the mid-south, keeping it in play through the night and on into the day tomorrow before exiting late afternoon and evening tomorrow. Again, right now, look outside from our Best Care Home Services camera at Memphis International. It's cloudy, it's 37. We hit 38 today. We've seen no precipitation yet, just some flurries in East Memphis. By the way, that 37 feels like 32. So we've got a northeast wind at about 7 miles per hour. Here's Futurecast from now until midnight. I think around midnight, we are definitely going to have a pretty decent snow that starts to move into the Memphis metro. But really from midnight to 4 a.m., that's when I think it's going to ramp up. And I think we could be seeing heavy snow, especially into eastern Arkansas, West Tennessee, northern Mississippi. And do you see some of those pockets of blue, the darker shade of blue of sorts? That's where we could find even heavier amounts of snowfall. That is going to allow some of those snow totals to really add up in small areas. So that's what I was talking about when I was saying that wouldn't surprise me if we had areas that had 8 to 12 inches of snow. It's because little areas like that, little deformation zones that are popping up in and around the area. It's very hard to target those specifically, but do know that rain or snow will be widespread over the area. Now, at 8 o'clock Friday morning, this forecast model is showing the possibility of just cold rain along and south of Highway 278. That extends from Clarksdale through Oxford and east to around Tupelo. But there may also be a little sleet in there. I'm not thoroughly convinced it's going to be rain. Now, there's warm air that's lifting north. That low is bringing warmer air into the area, but that cold air is really going to win out. If you look from 8 until about noon, there may be a brief transition to a little rain or sleet, but it's not going to last long. We'll be back to all snow by midday, and you see some of those spots of the darker blue. That's where we could find some of those heavier amounts lining up and really creating some problems in just the length of time that the snow is going to be on the ground. All right, so the deeper the snow, the longer it's going to last. Friday, 4 o'clock, most of it should be gone. We'll still likely have some flurries in the area. Temperatures low to mid 30s by 7 in the evening, clouds, a few flurries, and then it's just going to be cloudy and cold tomorrow night. Whatever is on the ground when this ends Friday will remain through the overnight hours. We're going to find lows falling into the 20s. We're going to barely get above freezing on Saturday. And I think we're going to be dealing with some clouds on Saturday, which is also going to significantly limit the melting potential for the snow that is on the ground. So that sunshine, even though if temperatures were staying below freezing, just getting some sun in here would really help to melt. But I think we're still going to have clouds around the Mid-South, just given the setup that we're going to be dealing with. So once we deal with that, here's a look once again at snowfall potential across the area. We're talking about 2 to 4 inches, really from around Covington north into Dyersburg, but you start to get into southern Tipton County, even into Fayette, Haywood, Hardeman County, McNairy County. We're going to find 5 to 7 inches of snow on average, with some pockets of higher amounts in there. I still think we're going to see a good amount of snow along and south of Highway 278. But that's going to be closer to that 2 to 4 inch mark as well, and maybe skewed a little bit by any rain that does develop. So that would help to melt a little bit. But that's what we're looking at. I don't know why that map went that way. Here's planning your day tomorrow, 100% chance of snow. And if you've watched it for any length of time, I rarely go 100% on any type of precipitation. I've been doing this long enough to know 100% sometimes will burn you. But I am extremely confident that the snow potential tonight is 100%. The snow potential for the early part of the day is 100% as well. So just know, tomorrow morning, you're going to be waking up to snow. If you're watching us here in the Action News 5 coverage area right now, you're going to be waking up to snow, and I think it's going to be pretty heavy, and it may be kind of cool with some of those big wet snowflakes, those silver dollar snowflakes. One of the things I want to mention, look, we're at 32 at 7, still dealing with snow in 33 at noon. We don't have to have temperatures at the surface at 32 degrees or below to get snow. As a matter of fact, I've seen snow in Memphis at 46 degrees. I've seen sleet with temperatures in the mid and upper 50s. It's the depth of that air mass that is just above the surface and up into the troposphere that will determine just what we're going to get. So we're going to really be frozen below freezing from around 1,000 feet up. So from about 1,000 feet all the way to the top of the troposphere, the air will be below freezing and well below at about 2,000 to 3,000 feet. But at the surface, a little thin layer of air that's slightly above freezing, that will allow those snowflakes to melt a little bit, and that will give us the big wet snow. Now, there's a difference between the wet snow and the dry snow. If we were at, say, 29 degrees, 1,000 feet below, above the surface, and then we're still about 29 degrees below or at the surface, we'd get a dry snow. It's below freezing the entire time. No melting whatsoever. Even with the friction and it falling, you would still have intact ice crystals. But because the edge of these ice crystals will be melting as it gets into that little thin layer just above freezing, I think it will add a little bit, maybe some of those snowflakes coming together to make larger flakes, and a little bit of melting makes a wet snow. That's going to make for great snowballs and snowman tomorrow. So have you ever tried to build a snowman, Lydian, in a dry snow?
Yes, it's impossible.
Just doesn't come together well.
It's been so long since I've been able to make a snowman. I'm so excited for the snow.
You have the day off tomorrow too,
do.
don't you? Make a snowman and send us a picture.
I sure will.
We want to see it.
And I had a dream last night that I was driving down an imaginary road, but every single house had at least one snowman out front.
That's
it had already
kinda cool.
It was so cute, and everybody had decorated them differently. So I'm excited to build my own tomorrow.
My dream was I couldn't get out of my driveway and there was no one here to work.
Oh no, that's a nightmare, Ron.
Woke me up in the middle of the night. Yeah, and that happened. So I'm gonna be here tomorrow, okay?
I'm sorry.
But
we appreciate your service.
Let me get back to this because I want to show you again, the day planner should be tapering off by 3 o'clock. We're still going to have about a 30% chance for a little snow at 3. It'll be cloudy at 5 and 7, maybe some flurries in the area, but temperatures through the day only in the low to mid-range of the 30s. So here's what you need to know. It's all about the snow. The snow begins tonight. It continues through tomorrow. Expect a few hours of heavy snow. especially from about, I'd say from about 3 a.m. until around 8 a.m. It could really be coming down heavy at that time over just about the entire area. Now, snowfall, as I mentioned, will average about 5 to 7 inches for most areas. Higher amounts will be possible, but no matter where you are in the Mid-South, tomorrow there will be travel issues as a result of the accumulating snow, and no matter how much snow you get, it's going to create some issues on streets, bridges, and overpasses. Now, city officials are doing a lot to try to negate some of that, and we'll talk more about it coming up in this, but those are the main themes. Again, keep in mind, Friday is a first alert weather day. We're going to have a snowy day. The weekend will be dry. It's going to be a great day to play in the snow, all right? So Saturday, whatever's on the ground Friday, is still going to be there Saturday. We fall in the 20s Friday night. Saturday's high only 33, mostly cloudy, cold. There's going to be plenty of snow on the ground. We will get some sunshine Sunday, but we're going to fall in the 20s Saturday night. We're going to fall in the 20s Sunday night. And as a result, I think that is going to keep snow on the ground Monday. And Lydian, that could create some issues with getting kids back to school on Monday, especially in some of our outlying areas. You can keep up with it on the Action News 5 First Alert Weather app. Just get the app. You can download it. It's free for Apple, Android products. Scan that QR code. It'll take you right to your app store. Or you can go there and search WMC. It's free. Interactive radar, hour-by-hour forecast, and updates from the First Alert Weather Team. It's going to help get you through this as we've got snow on the way. All right, I want to take a minute, answer some questions. You got anything, Lydian?
Well, Kathy keeps asking about her area in Clarksdale, and I really wanted to bring that up only because I have a Clarksdale shirt on right now.
Oh, that's good. Is it the Slider Inn in Clarksdale?
The Shack Up Inn.
The Shack Up Inn in Clarksdale. The Slider Inn is here. I'm thinking Midtown. The Shack Up Inn in Clarksdale. Yeah, that's a cool little juke joint down there.
But yes, and I know you touched on it a little bit. Didn't know if you could offer
Yeah, let's do it, because I think Clarksdale is probably going to be on the lower end as far as snow accumulation goes, simply because I think you're going to see it closer to maybe about a 2 to 4 inch snowfall, and really probably closer to 4 inches. But should there be a transition to rain at any point in there, then that's going to melt some of that snow, especially early morning tomorrow, but it will transition back to snow. So you can see snow, rain, snow on top. And Kathy, I'd like to ask you, are you getting snow right now? Because we were seeing some indication of snow on the First Alert Doppler radar, but I wasn't confident that a lot of that was hitting the ground. We were hitting that, the radar beams hitting that at about 3,000 feet. So what is actually occurring between that 3,000 foot level and the surface, there's still some questions that remain there. So Kathy, let us know if you're getting snow or flurries right now. We'd like to know that. What else we got, Lydian?
So Keith wants to know if he can go on a bike ride Sunday afternoon. I'm not sure where he's messaging us from, but
I bet that's my buddy Keith Billingsley. He's a big-time biker.
Sure
Big-time
is.
biker. You know what, Keith?
Hey,
Park the bike on Sunday.
What? Don't say that. I'm
Well,
pro.
and I'll tell you why, all right? Because, yeah, there may be some clearing on the major thoroughfares, what have you, but there could still be some spots or patches of ice, especially in the bike lanes, which will be less frequently traveled. So there could still be an issue with the biking in the area into Monday. So I would think, and it's going to be cold. You don't want to be on the bike.
Yeah, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe the city does not plow the green line or any designated bike lanes that are separate from the road. So keep that in mind. I know many other cities, the community will treat them themselves, but I don't think the city does that. So be careful if you're biking.
Yeah, and most of the green line's shaded too. So, you know, that's going to keep snow, that's going to keep ice there. And with temps falling in the 20s at night, you're going to get that hard freeze. overnight and a slow warm-up Sunday. Yeah, I think next weekend. Let's do it next weekend because we've got a dry pattern. After tomorrow, we're looking at several days of dry weather. Now, we're still going to be dealing with cold temperatures. We're going to start next week off in the 30s, right around the upper range of the 30s for Monday, Tuesday. We get a little closer to the 40s as we get into Wednesday. But it's still going to be chilly, and we're still looking at overnight lows for a good part of next week in the 20s. So there could be ice on the ground for a little while. And it may, if you make a snowman this weekend, that thing could be around for a week or so. Yeah. Anything else, Lydia?
I'm not seeing anything else, just people, saying be safe and everything. So thanks you for your
watching.
viewership.
Yeah.
And just a bunch of sweet comments.
So grocery stores.
Yes.
That's the big thing. Whenever we mention snow, and people think we get a kickback from the grocery store just for saying snow, man, that would be nice.
Yeah.
But we don't.
No.
We do not.
And, in the classic Mid-South fashion, people are flocking to their Kroger's and other grocery stores.
The big question is there any food left?
Right, and it varies. We have seen pictures of empty shelves, empty refrigerators where milk would be and things of that nature, toilet paper gone. Things like that. But we did stop by the Kroger in Germantown today, and it wasn't actually that bad. It was sparse, but it wasn't that bad.
You know what usually happens about 2 weeks after a snow event here in the Mid-South? A loaf of moldy bread and expired milk get thrown out.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Ugh.
It is, isn't it?
Yes. Luckily, I got all my shopping done well in advance.
That's good. That's good. I haven't been to the it's gonna be tough at our house over the weekend. I haven't had time. All right. So look, communities have been doing a really good job of making sure that the roads are prepped. Here in the city of Memphis, they're using salt this year. We typically use a salt brine, but they're using salt.
Yeah, that's a look at the salt that they're using.
That's really going to aid. Now, the salt brine is great, but oftentimes that salt brine is just a water and salt mixture. But by adding salt, the salt crystals, that's really going to help to add to the melting potential for the snow and help the major thoroughfares considerably. So kudos to the city of Memphis for making that move. Now on the downside, because we're using salt and not a salt brine, which is just not as much salt content in it, the salt, you're going to want to get your car washed right after all this stuff moves out, all right? As soon as things warm up and we can get back in the car washes next week, hopefully, you're going to want to get a car wash because just the raw salt itself or the salt crystals, that's going to start to erode the undercarriage and the bodywork on your car. So any exposed metals and salt, they will quickly rust. And I tell you that from experience. I have a saltwater reef tank at my house, and typically anything metal around it, just from the salt creep from the tank itself, will tend to rust. Well, if your car is going to be driving through that and you don't attend to it and wash it off in a timely manner, it could have an impact on your undercarriage and the body of the car.
That's good advice, Ron.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. What else we got? Anything else? Who's got snowplows? We have snowplows here in the city. We have 12 snowplows in Memphis. Did you know that? Kim told me that
12.
today. Yeah. We have 12 snowplows.
Is that now with the new snow and ice plan with the city, or is that like
I don't know. That was news to me. I have to admit. If there's anybody from the city watching, we'd love to know more about that. But 12 snowplows in Memphis. DeSoto County unveiling a new, or was it Olive Branch or South Haven?
It was DeSoto County government that announced that yesterday. We showed some video that they shared of that snowplow, brand new, and they expect to roll it out for tomorrow.
That's good. A snowplow is like a sled. Oh, that thing's going to spend more time in the garage than it does out in the streets. But that one time you need it, what's that old saying? It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Exactly.
So kudos to
Exactly.
DeSoto County getting
For
that
sure.
snow. That would be a fun ride along. I wouldn't mind doing
I think
that.
so.
That'd be a fun time. Ride
think
along
that
in the
would be.
snowplow.
Well, I want to touch on, since we're talking about traffic and travel,
Which is gonna be a nightmare,
let's
Mark.
not forget about flights, people coming in and out
Yep.
of the city. So Memphis International Airport does have a few flight cancellations
Already?
on their,
Oh, wow.
Yes, so several American Airlines flights bound for Memphis out of Texas have been canceled or delayed by several hours Thursday.
And there's big snow and ice in Dallas right now.
Yes.
Big snow. That's an American
Here's a look,
hub.
actually. This is a time lapse in Dallas as the storm rushes through where it gets really cloudy. You can see precipitation. But yeah, Texas is being hit hard
Lydia,
right
the
now.
Bria just told me the Cotton Bowl is tomorrow.
Oh,
Do we have anything official on that, Bria? No. It's on. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it is, and it's just getting going in Dallas. So
Yes.
Cotton Bowl tomorrow. It is on. By the way, the Tigers play Saturday. Penny was talking about that earlier this week. The last time they were on a hot streak, then there was snow that came in, and then things just fell apart after that. Let's hope that's not the case this time. Tigers got a great streak going right now, so we want to wish our University of Memphis Tigers basketball team success and good luck this weekend with their game. It is going to be on Saturday. Now, look, there's not going to be any snow in the area falling Saturday, but I think whatever is on the ground Friday night is still going to be there through the day Saturday. So just getting around could be tough Saturday in and of itself.
yes. You can check for, delays and things of that nature. We do have a story on our website as well.
Also, Lydian, I think getting to the airport, if you've got early morning flights out of Memphis Saturday morning, I think you could have issues getting to the airport. The airport officials have asked anybody flying out over the weekend to arrive there 2 hours early,
Yes.
just to make sure, A, you get there on time, and B, you have plenty of time to check and see if your flight has been delayed or canceled. So,
Yes.
some good news. Oh, I knocked my microphone off. My bad. Sorry about that. I'm using the old school mic. This is kind of cool,
I know.
actually.
Yeah, the little clip mics.
Takes me back to the days of Dick Hawley. I love that. So, what else you got for us? Anything good?
Well, just some other things in case. Oh, I do want to share. In case I haven't seen any questions today like I did yesterday. I think everybody knows if their kid is going to school tomorrow or not. But in case you're wondering, we do have the option for alerts if your school closes through our app, through our news app.
Cool.
Yes. So
Is that new? I didn't even know
no,
about
it's not
that.
new. So what happens is the school automatically updates through our system, or we will manually add it. But as soon as it's added, it sends a push alert to anybody who wants to be notified about that school closing. It's free. The news app is free, same as the First Alert Weather app. And yeah, just go to the closing section in the menu, and you can select whatever school or school district and stay in the know, and you'll get a notification whenever a schedule changes.
Oh, that is a great
For free.
feature.
So you don't have to go on
I-
their social media
Yeah.
and see if they posted anything or wait for a call.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
are pretty useful.
That's good. And this isn't, let me tell you.
And it's the same for colleges and schools.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good. Now, in comparison to past events, we've oftentimes had to wake up the next morning to find out, okay, maybe the snow's
Do we have
just
school
starting to
today?
fall. Will they
Yeah.
will they close? Tomorrow morning when you wake up, if you're getting up anytime after 6 a.m., the ground's going to be covered with snow. And there will probably be at least an inch of snow, no matter where you are in the Mid-South, by 6 a.m. At least, and likely more than that, likely closer to 2-3 inches, especially around Memphis. So anyway, that's what we're looking at for the overnight hours and through the day tomorrow. Again, about 5 to 7 inches of snow by the time it's all said and done. If you do not have to be out tomorrow, stay home. Enjoy the day. Just enjoy the snow. Watch Action News 5. We're going to be doing cut-ins throughout the day. We're going to have people out and about at various locations around the city and the Mid-South, showing you where the snow is, what impact it's having on streets, roads, and things like that. So we'll be covering that, but best for you to just stay home, ride it out, and let's just get through this safely. Nobody wants to have to deal with getting a car fixed next week or any things that could come with that. So, or a broken, I'm at that age now, I think, I don't want to break a bone. Yes. I don't want to fall. So just stay home if you can. And kids, you're going to get a snow day. So enjoy it.
Yes.
Yes,
Very
indeed.
exciting.
Lydia, it was fun hanging out with you again tonight. I always enjoy our time here on the digital desk. I want to thank all of you who are watching tonight on our apps and on our social media platforms on YouTube and Facebook. So thank you for tuning in with us. If you have any other questions, leave them down in the comments on the Facebook. I'll go through there a little later this evening and see if I can answer some of those for you. But most importantly, stay safe, stay warm, let your faucets drip at night. Tonight's going to be a good night, really tomorrow night and the night after, a good night to let those faucets drip. Take some time, check on your elderly friends, neighbors, relatives. Just make sure they're okay, they're warm, and they're ready for what's coming our way. And your pets, don't forget about your pets. If they're outdoor pets, please bring them in if you can. If you can't, they need shelter and warm bedding. They do, and you're going to have to check their water frequently for freezing because, believe it or not, even in the cold and snow coming down, you can still dehydrate. So that goes for the animals as well. We want to make sure they're well hydrated, they're warm and safe. You do the same. Be careful playing in the snow. Use caution. And to all the kids out there, enjoy it. And send us your pictures. We want to see them. Pictures and videos.
Please.
That'll be fun. You guys have a great night. Coming up on Action News 5 at 10, Joe Burge, Joyce Peterson will be along with the day's news. I'm going to have more on the weather. I'll be sharing any new info we have. And I'm keeping a close eye right there around northern Mississippi along 278. We're looking for new data to just see what may or may not transpire in that area. I'm pretty confident it's going to be snow for the most part, but there's also that little chance we could be dealing with a little more sleet or freezing rain down there. So we'll have a better handle on everything. And of course, we invite you to just check back here on all of our social media platforms often for new updates and new info. You guys have a great night. Lydia,
thank you for watching.
It's good to see you. Enjoy your day off tomorrow.
Oh, thank you. I will.
Playing in the snow.
I'll send you pictures of my snowman.
All right, do it.
All right, bye. Thank you for watching.